from April, farmers may be able to identify cows as breeding stock that could do just that. Dairy Futures CRC CEO Dr. David Nation says it's a world-leading breakthrough.
We've achieved something that's genuinely world-leading. This is the most detailed feed efficiency trait available for dairy farmers anywhere in the world. In particular, it links in real feed intake information that was measured here at Ellinbank and understanding what DNA profiles line up with the feed intake, and so that any animal from now on that has a DNA profile, we can then match up feed intake.
So what does it tell us, essentially?
It tells us that cows are quite different, which we've kind of known, but we've never been able to measure on farm. We've noted at research stations. When cows are fed as a herd, you never know what individual cows are doing, which ones are more efficient than others, for example, when they're out on a paddock grazing. We know that some cows literally eat half a kilo less than their neighbours for exactly the same amount of milk produced.
And now what will this allow farmers to do?
So from now on, farmers can keep selecting animals that save feed, if you like. We can now measure every bull that the farmer might purchase, in fact measure any cow in the herd for how much feed they would save or extra feed they would need to consume relative to the average dairy cow.
So it gives farmers a better understanding of what's happening with the cows in their paddocks.
It's just something else to be able to select for that we haven't ever been able to select for before.
Does it open up the door to how you've been, or the research into other traits as well? Has it opened up a door or an insight into that as well?
There's some other work going on here at the same time. From an environmental perspective, we're interested whether these efficient cows also produce less methane. We've also got cows that we're studying here to say which cows are more tolerant of hot, humid weather. So all those traits are related, and we expect in the future to have more efficient dairy cows that produce less methane and can cope with heat stress.
How can farmers use this information when they go to select their breeding traits?
From April this year, which is the next major genetic evaluation, all animals in the evaluation will have a feed-saved breeding value.
What's the interest from industry been like on this research?
It's fantastic. We have over 80 people here today to celebrate the completion of this new breeding value and to talk about how their clients and farmers will be able to use it from April onwards.
So there's a fair level of anticipation that this will be picked up and used in the future?
Yes, it's one of these traits that as soon as the scientists had worked out how to go about it, industry wanted it as quickly as possible.
What type of gain will it add, I guess, in dollar terms to farmers?
In feed terms, keeping on making positive selections for feed saved, a cow would require 50 to 100 kilos less feed on a dry matter basis per year. That would equate to $30 to $40 per cow per year. Across over 1 million dairy cows, that's a big difference. And
research for this has been a bit of an international affair as well.
It has. Warrigal's very much an international node of feed efficiency. There's so much happening between here in Warrigal with the Netherlands, with the UK and Ireland, and now more and more so with North America, who are coming on board measuring this trait.
When did all this research kick off?
The first work was done by collecting calves and taking them to Rutherglen and rearing them as calves back in about 2007-8.
And from here, how will you look to build on this breakthrough going forward?
The big thing is just keep making this trait more and more reliable. So every time a farmer says, I want to choose a cow that's more feed efficient, we can have much greater confidence that breeding line will be more efficient. Was
there a specific time in this research that you had a breakthrough on this front?
It's been a slow burner. And the really big breakthrough was turning this into a global trait and doing things on an epic scale in terms of the data and the number of cows measured. We could never have done this alone in Australia.
That's Dairy Futures CRC CEO Dr. David Nation.